Okay. Hello, everybody. Okay. Today I'm going to cut this fruit up. This is the Asian jackfruit, and you know it's been for a long time. I'm hesitant to eat it because um, it's really sticky. Okay, it's really sticky and unless you know the amount of work to get it to the meat is very hard. So you know when you don't know how to do it, you have to use gloves. You have to use I mean you have to be very careful because even your knives, everything gets sticky up, and it's very difficult to clean. So very hesitant to eat it, but you know we figured out how to deal with it. So I'm going to just make a little video about our experience with it, and hopefully it will help other people who hasn't or who has challenges like that. Okay, and so that you can go in there and obviously enjoy yourself. You need obviously we have a little hole in here and we left it here a little too long because we wanted to ripen up. And yeah, we did that a little too long. So anyway, ignore that piece. And but the key here is olive oil. That's the key here. Okay, so before you work on it, you really don't need glove or anything. Before you work on it, you just need to make sure your hands are kind of oil up somewhat, and just you know, not a lot. I mean, just enough, just to. You know, just oil your hands somewhat, like so. And just so that it's not too sticky. Okay, so just oil your hands a little bit, like so. And, you know, obviously the knife that you're going to be working with, you definitely want to oil that. And you're going to need it a little here and there as you go, because basically olive oil is really useful in this thing. It cuts away the the stickiness of this fruit, and for some reason it does a great job at it. Okay, so with that, the knife is kind of oiled up and my hands are, so I'm ready to open this guy up. And so what I want to do is I want to cut it down into two, and I'm gonna start working on one side at a time. Okay, so just work on that and cut it into two pieces is your goal, and so that you can work off one piece at a time. Okay, so that's the goal here, basically. Okay. So, anyways, we got a little section here that is not very good right now. So you want to work of this guy piece at a time is a lot easier. So I would just chop it into pieces and work off of it easier. Okay, so just divvy it up like so, and then cut it into pieces like so. And once you do that, then it's easier to get the core off, and then you can just work off each piece at a time, right? So now you can see the core is just right there. So basically you just cut really quickly around the core, and because you don't want to waste too much. You just want to cut really quickly around the core. And this one's not too ripe either, so kind of unfortunate. Right, so you're just going to cut that piece off, and that's it. Now you can just start stripping the meat. And you notice, like, it's really easy to do. I don't really have to like use glove or anything like that. And it's pretty clean. So now you just start stripping the meat from this guy You know, and I'm just gonna cut them off really quickly so that we can move on to the next piece. So you can just strip this meat off fairly quickly, like so, like so, like so. And obviously, you know, you could eat as you go. If you can't wait, you can eat as you go. Because it's so good. Okay? So, if you do that, then it's really easy to cut. And then you just move on to the next one. Okay, and then you can peel the seed later. So you can see, like this one, I've already got them all. So that's gone. Okay, so you can see, you know, we have kind of a bad section of this fruit, but on just half of it, we got this much out of it. So over here. And so right now we're going to finish the rest. And yeah, this is fairly quick. You can see that on this side. And I should be able to just finish this side really quickly. So the process is just gonna be the same. And you know, where I'm going to just kind of chop this into half so that it's easier to work with, basically. Okay, and so that it's a lot easier to work with. I don't want to work with a big piece. It's just a little bit more difficult. So the process just kind of repeats. And so I'm going to kind of cut this quickly, like I did the other piece, and then we're going to work on cleaning the fruit up. Okay? Now again, the key here is you're just going to have to follow your knife a little bit as you go, because you don't want the sticky stuff to be too sticky. That's the key. And I kind of want to keep it sort of clean somewhat. Okay? And put fresh oil on there. And that just kind of keeps it really slick. Alright, and then you just work on the next piece. And this way, you don't deal with the sticky stuff. And it makes your job just a lot easier. A lot easier. Look at that. Cut a little bit into the meat here and come around to the other side and just cut right where the meat ends, right there, like so. Now don't overcut it because you're going to overcut too much meat. So you just want to cut just barely above the meat, like so. Okay? And at this point you can start stripping the meat. And so you can kind of work on this guy fairly quick. And after a little bit here, you're kind of done. You just need to clean up the fruit here. And you can see, you can get that. You can see my pile is beginning to grow. See that? Right? The pile is beginning to grow. And so now I'm almost at the point where I will begin to clean that up. And some jackfruit stuff is almost ready to be eaten. So the pile is growing over here, and so I'm gonna continue to cut the rest here. And it depends on how much you want to eat. Sometimes you do the whole thing, especially if you're gonna use it all, and sometimes you may not, but you definitely don't want this to rot once you cut it, because it tends to rot quickly. So you want to be kind of quick about it. Now these are the pods here, so you can see, and this is the center piece. There's a lot of milky substance in there that is really sticky, and this is where the oil comes in very handy here. Okay, so Actually, the fruit piece are these pods, right? These orange pods underneath there, and they look
Yellow.
like that. Yeah, yellow pods that underneath there. And basically, your goal is to just cut them out. Okay, so just kind of cut them out here, and yeah, strip them out nicely like so. And you know, I typically try to salvage whatever I can because you know I don't want to lose too much. So I'm kind of careful about what I'm losing. But you can see right here, here are the seeds right here, right there. And basically you just peel it apart. And here's another piece. See that? And you just kind of peel it apart and then just kind of cut the bottom piece off like so. And yeah, see that? And that's what you want to do. And then, and I would do this first before you start, you know, just kind of cleaning the pods and keep it really nice. So I would just kind of pick these off really quickly first and cut them off first, okay? And that way, so you can see the fruit here. Okay, and you want to pick these things off as well, so that all you end up with is just a nice meat. Okay, so you can see they're kind of big, and you do want to just make sure you get them all off the base. But the great thing about having something like olive oil is that you can work very quickly without, you know, feeling sticky or gloves getting in the way, things like that. And you can be pretty quick about it. Otherwise, you know, if you deal with gloves, I mean, you're gonna spend a lot of time trying to dig these seeds out or these fruits out, and that's not very easy to do. Okay, it's just much easier to do it with your fingers, right? Without the oils. I mean, without the gloves, because the gloves, you know, gets in the way, and you can't really pick the fruits very nicely. So you can see this one, I'm getting really good production out of this guy, and I'm getting quite a few fruits out of this guy, right? And maybe, I don't know if we should do it all. Maybe we just do half today. Okay, so here I am finishing up the last pieces of it. And again, you want to cut this right about there, right? Right where the meat ends, or the fruity piece ends. And you don't want to overdo it. You just want to cut this main sticky piece off, okay? Like so. And leave it a little bit there. Yeah, look at how much fruit we got so far. So kind of cool, right? Mm-hmm. It's getting there. We're getting our fruit out of this fruit. I mean, not as much as I was hoping for, but it's definitely there. And so I'm gonna work it through really quickly here and get the rest of the fruit out. So again, use the knife, split the fruit out from the main body, like so. Right, and so that you can get them off. So you just kind of peel it off like so, and cut the bottom off. So that's the key there. And so use this knife to find the meat, and then just peel it off and cut like so. And we will clean it in a little bit. So as you work on it, and you can see there's a little bit of centerpiece here. You can just slice that off, so you can get to the meat very easily. That's kind of the key, see? And so split the meat out and then just go underneath it with the knife and pull it out like so. You can see that, and you can work through this like pretty quickly here, like so. Slice this white little piece off as you go, so you can get access to the meat really quickly here. Okay, so here's one of the piece. Cut it off. Here's the other piece. Cut it off. Here's more pieces. You just keep going. And I'm kind of almost done with this side. Okay. Let me finish this piece here. Okay, so it's not as bad as it looks when you have the right stuff. So find a really good sharp knife. Okay, and now the key here is when you go buy these fruit at the store, you want to go buy the roundest one. The roundest one, and you know, if you want, you know, the fruity peas like these to be long and nice, you want to get the biggest one that you can get. So, but really you want to get the round ones. And that way, these fruit, because the way they grow like this around the fruit, you want these fruit to be pretty well grown all around. And if you get the ones that are kind of crooked, then the round side has meat and the others just like, you know, you're gonna end up with a lot of these, that's it. Which is not good. Alright, and then I got the last piece here to work on, and then I'm done with the fruit. I mean, look at that. I mean, how is that? Not bad at all, right? With a little bit of oil here. Not bad at all. No stickiness. I don't deal with gloves or anything like that, and it's fairly quick. Okay, so I'm gonna finish this piece off, and then we will continue with cleaning that. Okay? Okay, so come around on top so you can show the fruit. So in about 15 minutes or so, you know, I already got all the fruits out of the jackfruit, and right now it's in the plate. And so we're just going to take a few minutes and peel off the you know, the little side fruit cover and the inside cover of the seeds out, so that we have only the meat left. Okay, so basically, you know, the process is really easy. You just kind of clean them out basically, and have a knife handy, because you know, you might need that, but the knife helps you get those little things off really easily, like so.
You didn't get the seed
Oh,
yet.
I forgot the seeds. Ha. So you basically cut into it and open it up, okay? So like so, and then you just take the seeds out along with the skin inside the seed, you know, like so, okay? And take the seeds out. So keep this piece out, and you want to keep the nice piece of the seeds only. You really don't want to keep the seeds or anything like that. So use a knife to prick it open, like so. See that? Okay, and take this little skin off. Any little skin you see, use the knife, cut it open a little bit, like so. Come close on top so you can see, you can show. Come closer on top so you can show. So yeah, so you can see, like, I'm using a knife. I am cutting it open like so, and I am stripping the seed out, and just keep that meat. So white little thing, cut the side of the seed out like so, split it up, and keep the meat. And then this process just kind of continues until you finish with cleaning and grabbing all of the jackfruit that you want out of this. Okay, so really nice piece there. Seeds comes off, and you want to keep just the yellow piece of the fruit. Okay, and obviously, if you don't use your glove like me, then make sure you wash your hands really well, and so that you can work really easily through it. If you have the nice plastic glove, you know, it's good to use those, the clear plastic ones that are clean for these kind of sanitized work. It's even better at this point because it's not very hard to plug, you know, to clean the fruit left. The hard part is getting And the tricky piece is getting them out of the fruit. So once you do that, this piece, you can use the kid glove if you want. Because that's actually a little bit more sanitized. But for our purposes of demonstrating this and how this is done, I'm just using my hands. It's a lot thicker. And so the knife helps you cut off and peel off the sides that you don't want, nice and clean, and easy, nice and cut of the fruit open. So it really helps a lot with that. Okay, so get a sharp knife that you can use for that. And you can see my pile of nice fruit is beginning to pile up right there. So jackfruit pile is building up here, and almost ready to eat there. At this point, if you got some hungry folks, you are ready to chuck them down. Look at that, ready to chuck them down. Đó, để ta nói gì? Tao no lại là xin nữa, ta nói. So, yeah, again, the key is find, a really good oil. Like olive oil works really well for us. Okay. I have not tried any other oil because olive oil is our staple oil that we have it all the time. We cook with it all the time, so it's what we have around, and I think it's probably gonna end up being the best one. You can try other oils. I don't recommend it because I've never used it. I'm not sure how well they work. Okay, but for purposes of what we are doing here and how we're cleaning this, we are using olive oil only. Okay, so that's what we have. Alright, so hopefully you guys learn a lot from it, or have seen how easily this is done and how you can now enjoy a very tasty Asian fruit that is very popular. And what used to be hard to get to is not very hard to get to. Once you have the right tool and the right technique, right, it's not that difficult to get to now. And so now we can finally easily enjoy this fruit, in about 30 minutes or so.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you can begin to enjoy this fruit in about 30 minutes now, versus you could be struggling with it and kind of be frustrated with it if you don't know how to do it. But you can see that this is great. And jackfruit, when you clean it out like this, is a great dish fruity dish for gatherings and such. We've done a few of those, and it's a very delicious, kind of expensive fruit, but it's very edible, and I think for the most part, most people love it, especially if you have taste for Asian fruits. You can't go wrong with jackfruit because it's so sweet. Alright, so that's all I wanted to show. The rest here, we're just cleaning this up really quick here. But you can see that we have some very edible jackfruit right now, building up in that nice clean pot. And that's gonna be our final product right there. Alright, so hopefully you guys enjoy this, and hopefully you can find use in it. Enjoy jackfruit. It's very delicious fruit. Okay, so here is the finished product. This is the whole jackfruit. So we only got one tray out of this fruit. It's not a very big one. So yeah, so again, get the round one if you can find it. Get the really ripe one because it'll be more yellow and more tasty and stuff. But this one's not too bad. It's not as ripe and nice as I had hoped, but it's the best one we found when we hit the store. So But this will last us, well, I don't know, a day, 2 days. My kids and my family, we all kind of develop taste for this, so I don't think it'll last that long. But yeah, so here you go. And there is the cleaning product over there, the seeds and cover and all that. But this is the nice piece here, and this is where the focus should be. Let me see. Take a piece, yeah, right there. Ăn rồi không? That piece there. Again, no glove required. You just need a good knife and olive oil. I don't recommend the other oils because I've not used it, but I can tell you, if you use olive oil, you cannot go wrong. You will do well. Okay. Yeah, forget that nasty gloves and stuff that you have to work with. Quick and clean, and then before you know it, 20-30 minutes, you have the fruit pretty much finished and ready to enjoy. All right. Have a good one, everybody.